At any given time, there are around 1,500 aliens on the planet, most of them right here in Manhattan. I'll give you the sunrise to think it over.
Today, we're in Battery Park in Manhattan. Right here on this very bench is where Agent Che sat and contemplated joining the Men in Black in the first film. In the movie, this area wasn't too busy, but in real life, it's a very high traffic area. There's people moving through constantly. There's a Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island ferry right on the other side of where they filmed. You can sit here and think like he did for a while, but don't be too long, because you're coming with me on a tour of all the different locations they filmed Men in Black at in New York City. This is Shot on the Spot.
Here comes Shot on the Spot. Danny's film adventures. Here comes Shot on the Spot. A passing plane production.
Now, right across the street from Battery Park is the Men in Black headquarters. In reality, it's the access building to the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. A bit has changed since they filmed in 1997. There's these iron fences that have been put up in front of the door so you can't walk right up to the building. There's some trees that have grown up nearby. But even just to be here is a really cool feeling. I'm sure that that's the same gum from 1997 on the sidewalks.
That's very funny to me. Y'all ain't laughing though.
Now, before Agent J could actually join the Men in Black, he had to be recognized by Agent K, both at the headquarters and on the streets.
What Agent K first heard about was the chase that Jay gave the cephalopoid perp through Manhattan. And when I say through, I mean like all the way through. The chase began on Park Avenue and East 41st Street, right outside of Grand Central Terminal.
Freeze me! Stop!
What's interesting is that first they're running away from the terminal. Then they're running back toward the terminal. Okay.
It'd just be raining black people in New York.
And if you listen to the director's commentary, Will Smith came up with that line on the spot. So the chase continues all the way up to 88th Street and Central Park East, a whopping 47 blocks north. Now, yes, Kay hitched a ride there, but that alien must have been booking it so hard that he got disoriented. Because now he's running back south, the way he came, down Central Park East. So he went south to go back north to come back south. I don't know. Jay finally confronts the perp outside of the Guggenheim, and being a Manhattan landmark, it really hasn't changed at all. The director of the film, Barry Sonnenfeld, originally wanted to film at the Philharmonic Hall, but that location ended up wanting too much money. In a way, this worked for the film because Sonnenfeld and the production designer, they agreed that they liked the shape of the Guggenheim. It's circular, kind of like a UFO. Another fun fact, Will Smith filmed this sequence where he's running up the ramp inside the building after having a huge hamburger lunch. Needless to say, Will wasn't too happy about not being told before he had his burger.
What's up?
So, who exactly are you with? FBI? NSA?
I'm part of a bureau that licenses, monitors, and polices alien activity on the planet Earth.
Now, the whole reason that Agent J was chasing that guy in the first place was because he bought a gun from Jeebs' shop. Jeebs' store is on the corner of Orchard and Broome Streets in Lower Manhattan. The shop has changed pretty drastically, so it doesn't really look similar at all.
This is Jack Jeebs' spot. He buys from chain snatchers. He doesn't even sell guns.
Really?
Interesting thing is, the shop is a market for custom art and fashion, so it still does have some imports for sale. You could still get a good deal on a Rolex here.
Oh, hey, how did these get here? I thought I'd turn these into the proper authorities.
How much?
$4.99.
Go ahead, read the New York Times if you want to. They get lucky sometimes. Thanks, Manny.
Cannot believe you're looking for tips in the supermarket tabloids.
If you need a copy, I'd recommend buying it here.
As J and K are figuring out what Orion is, the bug is driving along the Long Island Expressway, or the LIE. To this day, you can still catch the same glimpse that the bug did when you exit in Long Island City.
The next location we're at is 54 MacDougal Street. This was Rosenberg's Fine Jewelry. This was the jewelry store that housed the undercover prince of the Arkelians. Right there. It was a small red building. It was almost 200 years old. And you can't see this building anymore, but you can see the rest of MacDougal Street. This is where Agent J started using the noisy cricket to just blow holes in absolutely everything. At the end of the day, it makes me wish that the neuralizer was a real thing. Could just forget about the building and that it was ever here. Wouldn't have to feel sad for it being gone.
Also in Lower Manhattan is the R&L Resturant, or what used to be the restaurant. Like a lot of the diner restaurants that I grew up with in New York City, this one is completely gone, but that didn't stop me from doing the D'Onofrio dance on the sidewalk.
Sorry, Kay, can't talk right now. My flight's leaving. Wow! Get your paws off!
Call the pound, we got a stray.
I know nothing.
Not a thing.
They're rehearsing a ventriloquist act.
Well, this is where they interrogated Frank the Pug for some more information on the bug. The funniest thing about the scene is the guy with the white hair. What was his story? Why didn't he care that Agent K just comes, grabs his dog, and starts shaking him? Was he an alien too?
Okay, why don't you let me handle this one?
What?
Look, come on, man. All we gotta do is go in here and get a cat. It's not really that hard. But if you go
We've come uptown for this next location, to East 26th Street. This is the 69th Regiment Armory. Now, in the movie, this was the city morgue. In real life, of course, it's not the actual city morgue. This is where the dead Arkelian prince and his cat Orion came to be inspected by the agents, and the bug ended up tracking him down here too. This is the closest I have felt to the original movie. The green paint on the stairs is the same, the pavement is the same. There's even this little chip in the wall that you can see that's the same from the original movie. So if you're really looking to see the Men in Black locations, if you come here, it's almost totally original to the way it was, and you really feel like you're where Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith stood when they were making the movie. Now we are at the Unisphere in the heart of Flushing Meadows Park. Interesting thing about this is, like the rest of the work here at Flushing Meadows Park, they didn't actually film here. This was all a matte painting that they used as the background. Everything else with Agents J and K and the bug were all filmed on a stage. But the location that they used is pretty similar. You could see the light posts on either side of that kind of central grass area. They're about the way they looked in the film. And then in the center area, it was empty in the film. Now you've got all these plants and kind of shrubbery that are growing over here. But it's still a really eerie feeling just to think that at any moment a UFO could come smashing through that thing. It's really surreal. Now, obviously, in the movie, this place was empty because it was nighttime, but during the day, people just come here and play in it like it's a pool. Hey, you think they'll still work? Let's find out. You can't access these towers anymore. They've been gated off. This is kind of a staple of New York City. When people drive by this, a lot of people recognize it as being part of the World's Fair. But I've been in taxi cab rides where the drivers, they'll look at this while they're driving down the LIE or the Grand Central, and they'll say, oh, those are the towers for Men in Black. People just know them as the UFOs. So come on down and make a day out of it. Take a little dip in the fountain, go visit the Queen's Museum or the Queen's Theater, see where they filmed Men in Black. But remember, as you walk around, keep an eye out for roaches and other bugs. Because roaches check in, they don't check out. Oh, this is you? No way. You know they filmed Men in Black here?
Oh, really? You look like Men in Black.
There we go, that's what I'm trying to do.
It's not you? Okay.
I mean, it looks like it. Ferry to statue. I mean, worst case scenario, I'll just turn around.
On this very pavement is where Agents J and K rolled up in their MIB vehicle to, let's go from the top.